Hey, IDS 302. Welcome to video 1.2. Um, it's here. It's what is it? Thursday morning, July 1st, and it's about 9:30 here in Arizona. I'm sorry I had to celebrate today my CP3 shirt. A lot of people mistake me as Chris Paul out in public, and that's just the burden I have. But I don't want to trigger anybody if you're out in LA and happen to be a Clippers fan. Are there Clippers fans? Okay. Um, cheering for Phoenix. Now I fly into Milwaukee on Sunday, which is my hometown. And so I've been a Bucks fan all my life. I know if you're not into NBA, you're not gonna care. But it could be Bucks Suns, which we were hoping for at the beginning of the year. So looking forward to that. And if it's not Bucks Suns, at least it's going to be Suns. Okay, so hey, on the emails for the Easter eggs, I just want to let you know you don't have to be too formal. Professional, yes. Don't be rude. I did kind of push back at a student last semester who was calling me, hey, hey. Here's the, sorry, I just don't get that one. Um, so you don't even have to address me if you don't want. As long as if you're using your ASU email or coming off of Canvas, your name's going to be there. I'll know who you are. You can always, put your name at the bottom in there if you want to. I do not need your student ID. I do not want your student ID number. I personally don't think your student ID number should be on anything. That's like me signing my emails with my social security number. Maybe not that bad, but you get what I mean. I don't know. Is there a call for putting ID numbers in emails? I don't know what the point of that would be. So you don't have to. Also, I would like just to be 3 lines for Easter egg 1, 2, and 3. You don't have to call them anything if you don't want to. Just put Easter egg 1, Easter egg 2, Easter egg number 3. Write them down and sayonara. See ya. Just if you have any comments, questions, concerns, absolutely add them in down below. You can very much do so. But I do not need and not require an elaborate introduction to who you are and stuff like that. I appreciate it, and it's better to err on that side than it is to err on the side of hey. But I just want to make it easy for you, okay? And we'll keep it going that way. So hey, I'm going to include. I just said hey. Alrighty then. I am going to include 1, 2, 3, 4 links in this announcement that I'd like you to consider taking a quick look at, okay? The first one, and I do this in my videos, I try to bring pertinent, timely, contemporary information to you that resonates with our class and our objectives. So, first one's research. Now, granted, it's from Raw Story, which just by the look at all the ads and everything on it, I'm not a huge fan of that. But I'll show it to you. But it's the link, and I'm going to talk to you about it. Okay. COVID truthers' favorite study claiming masks harm your health is set to be retracted. That's a report. Now, I don't want to get into any politics on this. I'm talking about research. Okay. I'm talking about you being a better consumer of knowledge. All right. The keys in this article, as far as we're concerned, it's a study cited by COVID. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right. The study made a series of sweeping claims about the negative effects of wearing masks. An aerosol scientist at the University of Denver told factcheck.org that this Vainshellbaum's paper made fundamental errors in describing the ways that viruses spread through the air. The study was not peer-reviewed, okay, before publication, peer-reviewed. As Elsevier's, that's the site, their medical hypotheses journal specializes in publishing radical, speculative, and non-mainstream scientific ideas, so long as they are coherently expressed. All right, so this guy missed a fundamental point and basically described aerosols as moving naked through the air. But that's not true. As this aerosol scientist states that they have to ride with saliva, forms of moisture, and even with protein, I guess there's a scientific evidence. So it kind of just nullifies that whole argument, which was that masks couldn't stop it. All right. Despite its willingness to publish outside the box ideas without traditional peer review. Remember that term. It seems that the anti-mask study was nevertheless a bridge too far for the publication. So we're going to get into that. Again, you should be reading that Leedy article. What is research? What isn't research? And how do we recognize research in academia? And we should in our world. That means it has to have credibility. It has to have certain credentials that can be traced and tracked. And peer review is one of those ways we do it. Okay, and I'll explain that. The Association of Interdisciplinary Studies, I'll be right back. They publish a few times a year this bad boy here, Issues in Interdisciplinary Studies. Remember, interdisciplinary shouldn't be used by itself unless you're describing an adjective like, I'm doing interdisciplinary research. Okay, I'm not interdisciplinary. Okay, you're not interdisciplinary. You are maybe an interdisciplinarian. Okay, but anyways, so they're going to have research in here. Okay, this one, I got to admit, this is one of the most boring issues I've had, and I have a whole bunch of them. They have topics that include LAOPRA, layered operations, practicing embodiment, reflection, analysis in the performative paradigm. I guess that's what LAOPRA stands for. Yeah, did you see it? It just flew over my head. Okay, there's a lot, but it's good stuff. Typically it's really good, and you'll recognize, there's names you'll recognize. For example, one of them, the IDS officers and board members, there is a one Marcus Tanner he's the executive director of Alpha Iota Sigma Integrative Studies, Texas Tech University in Lubbock, and you'll recall he's the guy that wrote our textbook, right? Okay, another one is a article that came from, it's reposted from National Geographic. You can see that, just so you know, I'm not making this up. Child's grave is the oldest burial found in Africa, dated May 5th of this year. First sentence of this is, in a tour de force of discovery, recovery, and analysis, an interdisciplinary research team has uncovered the earliest known human burials in Africa. Well, this is great, right? It's what we do. It's who we are. I looked, and I think I could find disciplines, what they call paleoanthropology, which is interdisciplinary itself. There's historical sociology, there's human anatomy, there's actually chemistry with geochemical analysis, and maybe some others. Now, recall in your 301 or 201, whatever you took, interdisciplinary can take forms of just the individual. I'm doing interdisciplinary studies. I recognized the elements, dynamics of interdisciplinary studies, and I'm an interdisciplinarian. Okay, that means I am able to analyze phenomena, critique topics, solve issues using two or more disciplines through the process of integration. Without integration, you are just doing multidisciplinary. Okay, integration separates us from the animals. No, it's not the animals. It separates us from the multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is just like, I got a double major, I got a major minor. Okay, great, you're learning two different. I get it, that's fabulous. But as an interdisciplinarian, especially this class, you're learning how to integrate, what that means. That's the difference. And I want you all to have a good elevator pitch. You know what that means? It's something that you could tell somebody in less than 5 minutes about yourself, about your degree, as opposed to me when I went to a family reunion when I was taking my BIS back in 2013, was it? Or maybe even 2015, I don't know. But I ran into a couple of cousins of mine, cousin-in-law, and they were like big shots in academia and judges and school board up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And they said, hey, here you're going, you went back to school, you're studying interdisciplinary studies. I'm like, yep. He said, isn't that where you throw shit against the wall and see what sticks? And at the time, I had no comeback, except, hey, the jerk store called and they're running out of you. You get that reference? And the farther I get back from that, I think about it, it was such a dumb thing for them to say, but even worse for me to not have any comeback. That was intellectual. So I hope to give you that. Anyways, so that's a good one. Another link I have is from Forbes, which you will not use in this class. Do not use Forbes links, but Forbes has a great article on writing as, I can't read that backwards, writing as thinking, why writing is still a critical skill in business because this is an L course, I think, because you're being taught by a loser. No, L course literacy course, which has specific meaning to it, to what you need to accomplish with it. But writing is important, and this article explains why, and it's great. All right, finally, because I know I'm going long here, there's I think it was, well, Stacker. I don't even know what that is, but it's a list of college majors that earn the most money. Who cares? Who needs money? I know you guys don't need any. You're here for just the enlightenment of it. The thing about it is that I found that out of those 50, I think they listed, I find fully 1/3 of those to be interdisciplinary in nature. For example, um, ethnobotanist, okay, marine transportation management. If you've heard of things, organizations like the Bioneers, there's all kinds of things. But this list, it shows that to be interdisciplinary is an advantage in our 21st century world. Back when I was growing up, I mean, I grew up in Milwaukee in the 70s out of high school. My dad got me a job at Miller Brewing Company. If you got a job at Miller Brewing Company in the 70s, in Milwaukee, you were set for life. Dad just figured he's good. 47 years, he can retire, buy a cottage, go fishing. Um, I quit in a year and a half. Less than that, I couldn't last. I couldn't do it. I hated it. In fact, hey, they could do it. Great, more power to them. I couldn't. My dad didn't talk to me for 6 months, and yada yada yada. That's a story. But anyways, nowadays though, you got these career choices. You got these amazing, inspirational types of work that are great. Okay, so Easter egg number one: research adds knowledge. Research adds knowledge. Remember that. That's the difference, again, separating us from the wild animals out there that are researching new cars and trips to Europe. I've done both, and that's research. Okay, it is. But in an academic, scholarly setting, research adds knowledge. Okay, not just self enrichment. Okay, it adds knowledge to the field. All right. Okay, so discussion boards due on the 3rd. I won't score it till then because there are responses involved with that. So please take a look at that. Your topic, make sure you get that in on time. Your topic is one of the most important things. It's going to be your direction that you take in this course. And again, it's one of those obstacles for me in terms of wanting to teach interdisciplinary students and give them the opportunity to research in their fields that they want to. And again, you're not required to, though. Here's the kicker. Okay. So if your concentrations are dance and geology and you don't want to research in those, by all means don't have to. Whatever you choose though, you're going to have to choose 3 disciplines. That's right, he said it, folks. 3 disciplines. I'll explain that why. You're going to use 3 disciplines to do your interdisciplinary research, integrative research. Okay. I'm not going to review too much out of the text because it's part of the readings for this course. You need it to pass the quizzes. You need the terms and the concepts and an understanding of that. If you have any questions on any of that, let me know. Please let me know, because I will either answer you directly or I will find it a good question that I should address the class in a video. So I'm just not gonna burden you with that. You're already gonna read it because frankly, this is my way. I like to do this. Okay, I do. I like to do this. You get to see who I am, kind of know who I am. I wish I could do the same for you, but I can see your work. I can see how you write. I can see your comments, your emails, and I think it makes for a better experience in this course. I don't have to do it. Most of my colleagues don't do it. They're just kind of, I had a instructor in grad school online, and I couldn't even find her online, and she didn't exist. I didn't even know what was going on. And the ironic thing about it was she was teaching like new media or something like that. She wasn't even on new media. It was weird because we had to do like Second Life. And I thought and this was like 2016, 2015. I was like, hey, 2002 called and they want their Second Life back. that. Maybe you're into that. I don't know. Take care of your first life, damn it. All right. So looking at, so I said Easter egg number 1. Easter egg number 2 is do the readings. Do the readings, all of them, the attachments, the chapters, and everything like that, okay? Take a look again. Hopefully you were introduced, but if you weren't, it's not the end of the world. Introduced to, what's this? Oh, that Leedy argument. I just put it up. There's 8 pages, and it's so good. I mean, again, here's the text. I'll show it to you, just to see what you could have been stuck with buying. You see that? You see that? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I mean, there's stuff in here that it's a great reference book for researchers. It's a great, maybe for grad school students, but come on. We don't have time to learn all about all these different methods or methodologies and designs and things. I want you to apply your interdisciplinary thinking here, okay? Anyhow, so this Leedy, that what I took out of there though is phenomenal in terms of it tells exactly what research is and what research is not. All right, and I think that's very important for you to know that. All researchers know that. Okay, so looking at the learning materials in Module 1, we've got the pyramid, and let's take a look at that pyramid just to give you a quick look. That's the pyramid. You can see it bottom to top. Okay, bottom is intradisciplinary. Intra is a single discipline. Okay, we're going to study how to design a building with architecture. Simple. Intradisciplinary. Cross-disciplinary. That's a tough one. It's 2 disciplines, but you're looking at one through another. Okay. You are looking at, let's say, I always use the same example. You're looking at music through a lens of math. You know, music has mathematical concepts. That's cross-disciplinary. You're not looking at music itself as a discipline, okay? So you're not looking at a song with music and math. You're looking at music as a concept through a discipline through the eyes of mathematics. You could, another cross-disciplinary, I used to have so many examples of this, would be looking at the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic through a lens of sociology or through a lens of ethnic studies, looking at the effects of the economic effects of the pandemic through a lens of gender studies. Okay, that's cross. Then you get to multidisciplinary. You know, it's 2 or more disciplines. That's it. Okay, it's studying a architectural development or apartment development, say, with architecture, with sustainability, with economics, sociology, but each one is separate. Okay, it could be the same interdisciplinary and using different disciplines to analyze, or it could be a architect, economist, sociologist, okay, sustainability scientist, all right, and they're going to look at their things and report somewhere. Then you have interdisciplinary, ding, 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 ding. Have you heard of that one? Interdisciplinary. Now I'm going to give you a heads up. In the quiz, I'm going to ask you to match these up. The people that get interdisciplinary wrong, I'm sad. I'm very sad because they didn't, it's what their program is. They need to know it. It's using 2 or more disciplines. And it's the same as multidisciplinary, except what? Let me hear you. Integration, right? Interdisciplinary integrates the disciplinary information. And then transdisciplinary, trans meaning to go beyond, transdisciplinary goes beyond the disciplines and includes non-disciplinary stakeholders. Okay, like if you're studying a transdisciplinary committee on border issues, you may have, sociologists, ethnic studies, geographers, um, Latin American studies, but you could also have stakeholders like landowners there, business owners there. Okay. Transdisciplinary also seems to start more with the issue and then it gets what it needs. I know most of those you could say the same for, but let's look at concept of domestic terrorism. Okay. Again, you're going to pull in the things you need to pull in. So you're going to be a religious studies expert, a political science expert, criminology and law studies expert, but there could also be, again, Chamber of Commerce, uh, look downtown Nashville, okay? So stakeholders, people that have, victims' families, things like that. That's the difference. And that's illustrated now, the difference in the interdisciplinary through this chart of approaches, okay? Don't let this confuse you. It's pretty simple, okay? The D stands for discipline and the P stands for problem. So you can see intradisciplinary is just the discipline to the problem. Cross-disciplinary is discipline through another discipline to the problem. Multidisciplinary is discipline, discipline, discipline. All arrows go to the problem. For interdisciplinary, it's discipline, discipline, discipline. The arrows come together, then they go down to the problem. And transdisciplinary is a big circle with the problem in the middle and all the disciplines on the outside. And there can be stakeholders. So I wanted to emphasize you looking at that because it gives you the conceptual idea of what you're doing. How does interdisciplinary study differ from other disciplinary focus? Okay, let's see. All right, so the Tanner model is what we're using for this course. We are going to do a paper for step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So don't get nervous. Don't get intimidated. My God, if you drop this class, it costs my paycheck. Stay with it, please. I'll help you. You're going to do a paper. It's going to compile. You're going to use step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. You're going to put it all together, turn it in. Trust me, more often than not, students just get really intimidated by this and then they don't. Then they're like, wow, I got this. It could be your crowning achievement for your academic journey, right? Okay, so now so you're going to pick your topic, but look at that ethics page because there will be a quiz on ethics, not this module, but you're going to get questioned on that. Think about the topic and what you want to do it on. If you don't see anything in that list, think of something and let me know. Maybe we could talk about it. If you're going to go off the charts on that one, try to let me know sooner instead of waiting until the minute it's due. Look at the sample paper that gets submitted for the topic. That's what I want you to do. I want you to use it as a template. I want you to submit the same thing. Just choose your topic and spell it out that way. It's a great example of how I want that done. I used to let students be a little more creative on their own, and I found out, oh my God, don't do that because it's too important to get a good start on this. And to do that, I wanted to make it kind of uniform. I'm looking at that now. The ethics page is pretty clear. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, you let me know, okay? So you want to go to the IDS 302 research sample doc attachment here, okay? And then if you're curious to what it's going to look like, here's a well done final paper that you're going to do after 5 weeks. You're not going to do it all at the end. You're going to do it as we go along. So here's what they do. The first name, last name, choose one of general topics, criminal justice system. So then you write out this question. What are some of the opinions, perceptions, and experiences regarding the criminal justice system revealed in a survey of random adults? Use that question. Write it out. Okay, I think I have that in the instructions, right? Yes, I do. All right, and then your concentrations are those you expect to use, okay? And so on and so forth. I think you got this. All right, I'm at 25 minutes almost. We got to get out of here. Let you go enjoy your holiday. Okay, so check my list of things to do. Again, like I said, I'm traveling on Sunday. I'm gonna post the video 2.1 on Monday the 5th. Okay, and we'll get started and keep it going. So now we're starting. Thanks for getting in this class. Thanks for your good start. Thanks for watching these. You'd be surprised how many people skip them. And again, I say this: are they required? Nothing is required. You don't have to take the class. You don't have to be in college. You take the class. You don't have to do the work. I mean, there's accountability and responses to that. You're taking certain things that could help you. So again, but again, it's not required. Paying your electric bill is probably required. Paying your rent is required. All right. So okay, I'm going to get too philosophical here. Let's do Easter egg number 3. Get a strong start. Some words to that effect. Get a strong start. Okay. Forks up. Peace.